Morning everyone, it's Rob, Yoga Dads. Welcome to day 12 on this summer stretch challenge. As you can see, I've got the dogs joining me this morning to doing their daily business out on the grass, hopefully not on top of the yoga mat. And yeah, so we'll get started in just a second. We're going to be doing a standing sequence again today. Here's Rolo, there's Rolo just getting ready for her downward dogs this morning and feeling pretty good. There we go. Right, you may well come in as well. And yeah, so let's get going, and then I'll talk a little bit about the charities at the end of today's session. Okay. Right. So we're going to start. We've got lots of sand on me. We're going to start in a standing position, and we'll just close our eyes just for a moment. And as we do so, we just start maybe rocking from side to side, just almost feeling that connection to either side of the foot, and forward and back, and really feeling that grounding down through all four corners of the feet, across the balls of the feet, across the heels, all across each of the individual toes, and then turning the palms so they face forward. Now I'm outside this morning, so I'm feeling the warmth of the sun just bathing all across my front body. Wherever you are this morning, just using this as an opportunity, this 15 minutes that we've got together, just to really savour the benefits you can experience through taking some time out for yourself, to bend and stretch, to move and breathe, to feel and think in a way that really works for you, no one else. Nice soft gaze, open the eyes. Okay, we're going to start with some shoulder rolls as we did yesterday. So it's forward and up, back and down. Almost imagining that we're drawing imaginary circles across either side of the room, with the tops of our shoulders, our collarbones, in one direction, and then the other. And then we're going to lift our shoulders up towards our ears, shrugging our shoulders up towards our ears as we inhale, then exhaling to release down. We'll do that twice more. Inhaling, reach the shoulders up and back down again, and once more. And as you breathe out, really feeling any last negative emotion, anything that doesn't really serve you this morning, kind of just leave in the body. Now we're going to take our fingers, we're going to tent the fingers across each of the tops of the collarbones, and we're going to just start drawing circles again, this time with our elbows across either side of the room. So again, just exploring that range of movement that's available to you across the shoulders, across the upper arms, along the side body, in one direction, and then the other. And then bringing it back down again. Okay, so we're now going to take our arms and take them up. Well, actually, we'll take the palms out in front of us first, so thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. So feeling that length now all the way along the arms, all the way back towards the shoulders. And we're going to lift our arms up and overhead. You might not necessarily be able to see the tops of my hands and the arms, but I'm stretching those fingers all the way up towards the sky, while at the same time grounding down through the floor, through all four corners of the feet, shoulders nice and relaxed away from the ears. Now if that feels uncomfortable for you at all, just slight bend in the elbows is just what you need. Okay, now let's turn our palms down, and we're going to flatten them out along the side body. We'll take them up again, so out in front on an inhale, lifting them up and overhead, still continuing to inhale, exhale and turn the palms down, and along the side body. We'll do that once more in this direction. Inhale and lift up, feeling that length all the way along the side body, and then back down again. We'll take the palms out in front, and this time we'll take them down by our side. We'll turn the palms up towards the sky or the ceiling. Inhale and lift up, exhaling forward and down. Inhale and turn the palms up, arms up and overhead, exhaling, palms facing forward and back down. And again, just exploring whatever space, mobility we've got available to us in the shoulders. And we'll do that once more. Inhale and lift up, palms forward, facing one another and back down. Now we'll take our hands now into the center. We'll inhale and turn our arms, turn our palms facing up towards the ceiling, lifting those arms up, palms back towards one another, and then just running the backs of the thumbs all the way along the front body, along the front of the face, down towards the floor, folding forward and dissecting the feet with our prayer positioned palms between the legs. Inhaling to lift the hands up onto the shins, Exhaling to fold forward, keeping those knees bent to avoid any strain at all for the lower back and the backs of the legs. Palms back together, tracing that line all the way back up the front body, all the way back up towards the sky, and back down again, and round. Twice more. Inhale and lift the palms up, reaching those arms up and overhead, back to prayer position, down the front of the body, tracing those thumbs, all the way down towards the floor, bending those knees as much as you need, head nice and relaxed down, inhaling hands to shins, exhaling fold forward, hands back up the front body, and back down again. Okay, one more time. Inhaling, lifting the arms up, exhaling down, and just following the breath through that movement, folding forward, inhaling, lifting up, reaching up as high as you can, and then back down again on the exhale, and back round. Now I'm going to turn myself sideways on now, but you stay facing forward. So we're going to do the same again. So inhaling, lifting the arms up and overhead. And this time we won't turn the palms into prayer position, we'll just start folding forward. So hinging at the hips and reaching those fingers away as far as feels comfortable to you. Landing those hands down towards the floor, bending the knees to avoid any tension along the back of the legs. Keeping a nice length along the length of the spine. Hands up onto the shins with a flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. Keeping those knees bent as much as you need. And crossing the forearms, hands onto the opposite elbows. And just allowing the head just to sink down towards the floor. Hands now, fingers down towards the floor again. Nice big stretch out to the side, inhaling, lifting up and overhead. And back to centre. We'll do that twice more. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling to fold forward. Each time you might find you've got that little bit more length along the body. Inhaling, hands to shins. Exhaling, fold, bending the knees, arms out to the side, lifting up and overhead, and back down. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling, fold. Hands to shins on an inhale. Folding forward. Inhaling back up. And back to centre. Now I'll stay in this position. What I'm going to do is take my hands now onto the hips. I'm going to rock my body weight over towards the right hand side. So you might find your right hip just start poking out a little bit away from the right ankle. We'll lift the left heel, so onto the toes of that left foot, and we find a fixed point ahead of us, preferably towards the ground, that we can kind of focus on. And we just start lifting that left foot up off the ground. It's a nice easy way of just testing our balance, our focus, our concentration this morning. And we just lower that back down again. So bringing that body weight back into the centre. We do the same now on the left hand side, shift across to the left foot, lifting that right heel, fixed point ahead of us, lifting the right knee up towards the upper body, and then back down again. Now as we shift across to the right hand side this time, we're going to lift our left foot, and we're going to take our left foot back towards the back of the mat, back of the room. We'll focus on our feet in just a second, but for the moment, let's just take our fingers again towards the shoulders, just as we did at the start. So we're going to round our elbows again, rotating them, front and back of the room in one direction, just to create that little bit more space, across the top of the chest, the shoulders, along the arms. Okay, taking the arms now down by the side. Now we're going to bend our front knee now, so that right knee, to a point at which it's over the right ankle. And we want that right knee pointing out towards the little toe side of our right foot. And a good way of testing that is just by placing our palm across the outside of that right leg, that right thigh, and just pressing that right thigh into that right palm. And it just helps with that external rotation across the hip, just creates more opening across the hips as well. And again, just go as far as feels comfortable to you. Now with that back foot, toes pointing out towards the long side of the mat, and really grounding down through the back of that left foot. Now heel toeing that front foot forward to a point at which you feel that stretch along the insides of the thighs on either side, and just start bending that front knee. Okay? Now taking the palms back up onto the tops of the fingertips onto the tops of the shoulders. And we're going to extend our arms out. So reaching forward and back with the fingers, shoulders nice and relaxed away from the ears. Just being mindful of what's happening with that right knee. Just out towards that little toe side on that right foot, and just keep sinking down as far as feels comfortable to you. There is a tendency sometimes for the upper body just to fold forward across that front thigh. good way of testing that is just to look down, see whether you're looking down over that front thigh. And if that's the case, just lifting yourself back up again. Preferably what you'll see then, shoulders, chest, hips, all in a line towards the floor. Okay, now taking that back hand down the back leg, turning the right palm towards the ceiling, and then lifting that right palm up, still keeping that right knee bent, and just placing the right palm along the back of the head. And just slowly walking those left fingers down the outside of the left leg, and just feeling that stretch now all the way along the right side of the body. Option here to lift that right arm up, reaching those fingers up towards the sky. And just to really feel that length all the way along. And the right fingers down towards the right hip. Hip still sinking down towards the floor. Now wherever you've had your hands this morning, around the back of the head or overhead, lifting yourself back up now, arms horizontal to the shoulders, and then crossing that right forearm now across the right knee, placing the left hand along the inside of the left hip, the right forearm across the right knee, still with that right knee pointing out towards the little toe side. Option again here, through this extended side angle, is to take the left fingers up towards the left shoulder, just staying in that position, feeling that opening across the chest and the hips, length along the side body, taking the arm up and overhead, maybe looking down towards the ground, towards the side, up towards those fingers, or final variation, sweeping that left hand under, back up and overhead, palm facing down, and again really feel as though you're reaching away with those left fingers, while at the same time grounding down through the outside of the left leg, and maintaining that opening across the chest and the hips. Okay, slowly lifting yourself back up again, the arms horizontal again, fingers pointing forward and back, and then taking the hands down by the side. Okay, we'll do the same on the opposite side, so we'll just turn our right foot now out towards the side, so the right toes pointing towards the long side of the mat, left foot, left toes pointing towards the short side of the mat, and again we'll just check in before we start with that grounding through the feet, just bringing our fingers up towards the shoulders again, rotating in one direction, and then the other, and focusing on the foundation of the feet. So heel turn that foot forward, bending that left knee, now left knee out towards the little toe side on the left foot, and then maybe even walking that right foot back a little bit, depending on how much space you've got across the hips. Okay, once you feel a solid foundation through the floor, extending the arms out forward and back, reaching those fingers, feeling that length all the way along both of the arms, space across the chest and the shoulders, while at the same time hips sinking down towards the ground, and then landing that right hand along the outside of the right leg, turning the left palm up towards the ceiling, lifting that left palm up as you lower that right hand down the back of the leg, cradling the left hand around the back of the head, feeling that length now all the way from the elbow, the left elbow, down towards the left hip. Option here to lift the left arm up, and feeling the length all the way from the left fingers, down along the left side of the body. Left knee still bent. Slowly lifting yourself back up again, arms horizontal, just checking for that upper body position, just making sure it's chest, heart, hips in the same direction, and then taking the left forearm this time across the left thigh, right hand along the outside or inside of the right hip, and again the option here in this extended side angle, fingers towards the right shoulder, up towards the sky, or down and round and up and overhead. Whichever variation you find yourself in, just making sure that that left hip is still externally rotating out, so ensuring that that left knee pointing out towards that little toe side on the left foot. And if it feels as though the upper shoulder is kind of reaching down, folding down, and just lifting that right arm back up, and taking it back towards the shoulder. Lifting yourself back up again, Arms horizontal again, and then back down. Left foot now pointing towards the long side of the mat, and we'll just heel toe our feet in just for a moment. Let's just see how far we've gone. Just for a moment, we'll just take a forward fold to end with. So we keep our toes pointing in towards the centre, heels splaying away towards the side, hands to the hips. Nice big stretch now as we lift our chin up towards the sky, opening across the chest and the shoulders. Folding forward to a point at which feels comfortable to you. Maybe option bending the knees, slowly lifting yourself back up again. And bringing those feet back in, underneath the hips, to arrive back in that standing position in which we started. So just closing the eyes just for a moment. And just settling back into that space again, where we began. So rocking the feet from side to side, forward and back. Palms facing forward, fingers reaching down towards the floor. Feeling that expansiveness all along the front body. Length from the crown of the head down towards the soles of the feet. And really feel as though you're breathing energy into the body. And letting any worries, any stress, any negative emotions out each time you breathe out. Nice soft gaze, open the eyes. There we go. This morning's sequence done. Right, let me just move back over to the front. And so we started with one who's maybe a little bit more camera shy. Here's Fudgy. Here she is. Hello. Right, and thanks everyone for joining me this morning for this session. And I hope you really enjoyed it. It was pretty hot out here, to be honest, with the sun beaming down on my face, but a really enjoyable and energizing standing sequence this morning in this what looks like it'd be a beautiful day. So in terms of raising awareness and donations for the charities, of course it's all about promoting those 6 charities that I'm supporting and hopefully raising a lot of money. All of them have launched emergency appeals, so please spread the word. Donate what you can to support these causes, because otherwise they just won't exist in the future. Anyway, that's probably enough for now. Have a fantastic